You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is your steady thing, go meet your football need. Your football need. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. Sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. Your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy.
What's up, guys? My name is EJ, and welcome to our podcast for the week. This is an Arsenal-only podcast, so I'm just going to introduce the guests as the way I see them on my screen. We'll start with Ovi. Welcome to the pod.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here for the special season.
Okay, Toby, you're next. Just
Hey
say hi.
guys, glad to be here. Always.
Good. And
I
Steven,
said hey.
sorry, there's a delay.
Thanks for having me back.
Great. And Harry.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Before we start, as you guys all know, we like to talk about our social media handles, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. If you do not follow us already, please follow us. As always, our music was prepared and created by SJ Music. Shout out to him, even though he's an enemy. We'll move on straight. We'll jump right in. Quick recap of last season. All right, guys. Last season was another season of finishing second, 3 years in a row. At some point, I said second is the new fourth because Arsenal used to be always fourth, and now we're second always. So let's start with you, Ovi. How would you encapsulate 2024-2025?
I would say another season of missed chances, injuries, setbacks, but hopefully just another step onto greater things. It was painful at the end, but obviously there was the side showed progress, and that's all we can ask for, to be in those conversations. But at the end of the day, when you don't win trophies, that's just your rivals are going to use to beat you. So in the end, it wasn't. There was no celebration, no climax, no trophy to hold up in the high and celebrate. So it's always going to be looked at like a failure. But I saw the positives from the season, and hopefully we'll make those adjustments to win this season. That's pretty much it.
Okay, that's good. Toby, what do you have to say? What were your highlights of last season and your lowlights?
Highlights, I guess, was against Real Madrid and getting to the semi-final of Champions League. I think lowlights was just the way the season was from the start. It was always a season that we started without the right assets in the club, right? We tried to get Benjamin Sesko before the Euros. He said no, one more season. We didn't pivot. We said, okay, let's wait. We brought in Calafiori, we brought in Merino, right? We had some good sales, but we didn't really strengthen the attacking areas of the pitch, which have been crying out for. Started off the season with some dodgy red card decisions. PGMOL did their thing. Injuries did their thing. So I can't really say the season was there was any highlight other than like Champions League, but the season was always a dread, right? Every week, what are we dealing with? What injury? Who's playing up front? So I think last season was more of this is how not to plan a season as opposed to how to plan a season. So I think the club takes a lot of responsibility, needs to look at last season as an opportunity missed rather than anything else. That's just my conclusion on it.
Okay. Steven, I'll jump to you. Your thoughts?
100%. I think it's a lesson in patience for the fans more so. I think for the club, it was a teachable moment, and I think the way that they've kind of gone into the window or been a bit more aggressive with how they wanted to prepare for the season Because again, they could still be waiting for Sesko right now if they weren't thinking in a much more aggressive way about being ready for the season. So I think it was just for the fans a lesson in patience, and then for the club it was a teachable moment, just in terms of, look, if we want to be serious, we're gonna have to kind of like invest in the areas of weakness. We still haven't done everything that we probably need to do, if I'm honest. I think you look at the team last season, we scored 69 goals, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, we needed goals." Liverpool were the only team Liverpool and Man City are the only two teams in the league that scored more goals than Arsenal last season. And Man City was 3 more, and Liverpool was 17 more. And then everybody talks about Liverpool, and Salah contributed 55% of Liverpool's league goals last season. So one player contributed 55% of their goals. Goals and assists, it was Salah, which is why Liverpool went and signed Wirtz. They're going to go and get Ekitike. They're signing Isak because they know they can't do that again. Right? So
They would fall for it. I was hoping they would fall for it.
No, but again, they know they couldn't do that again. So for us, I think thinking that Gyökeres on his own is enough to compete at that level, I think is fallacy. I think we're going to be better off if Saka stays fit, if Odegaard stays fit, and we have other options like the players that they've bought behind. But I still think we're missing that one other world-class attacking player to kind of get us to the level of those clubs that we're competing with.
Okay. All right. And Harry.
Yeah, I kind of agree with everything everybody has said. For me, I label it a season of what ifs, right? Because you don't expect to thrive as a club if you're from a winning position, letting go of like 21 points, right? We can blame a lot of things. We can blame injury. I still think the biggest issues for me were the squad depth, which even till now we've improved slightly compared to last season, but I still think we're probably like 2 solid players away. Also, our disciplinary issues. I kind of put that in the same boat with having issues with PG, MOL. But where they progress, maybe slight progress. And I think that's what's most frustrating for we Arsenal fans, because we see glimpse, but it just doesn't come to fruition because of how inconsistent the team has been, and inconsistent for numerous reasons, from injuries to also the pattern of play, just to mention a few. But I label it a season of what ifs, and I'm just hoping for the best this season.
Very good, very good, very good. I mean, I echo all you guys' thoughts. I feel like it looked to me anyway, the season, my highlights were definitely Real Madrid and beating Manchester City, but then everyone beat Manchester City. So it's really hard to like celebrate that too hard. The lowlights was just like every week, it just looked like we would play up to 60 minutes and then just like not fall apart, but like just not have enough to continue. So toward the end of the season, we drew a lot of games, and we drew like 15 games, 14 games. So it was just disappointing that we would go up and then they'll claw back. Every team was just clawing back against us. These smaller teams were clawing back against us and just like, giving us headache. And it just seemed very clear that we just didn't have enough bodies to keep up the intensity for 90 minutes. So that does take us into our next topic, which is the transfer window rating. So far, and you guys will help me out, I believe we brought in Zubimendi pretty much early this year. Zubimendi, Madueke, who else again? Gyökeres, obviously. I feel like we brought 4 people in. Mosquera.
And Kepa.
That's 5 people. Norgard and then Mosquera.
6.
And also Kepa.
Who is this? Oh, the Kepa.
Kepa is your 6th.
Yeah. I don't know why I don't care about that guy. But Kepa,
needed.
Yeah, backup goalkeeper.
It's needed. Yeah.
And then who else? There are rumors of Eze still lingering, so we don't know if Eze is coming. I don't know if there's another person that may or may not come, but I just know I've not seen us buy 5 players at the same time since.
Well, we've already bought 6, so
6 players at the same time since we lost 8-2 to Manchester United in 2011. So, how do you guys rate our transfer window? Also, we lost 2 players so far, George and Partey. So we'll go backwards. Harry, how do you rate our transfer window?
Maybe a B plus, B minus, B plus.
Okay.
And the reason is for the strength, obviously the overall of like the midfield. I still feel we should have kept Partey. I think if we had done that, I would really not completely worry about that midfield
The PR
anymore.
crisis. He's a
Sorry?
PR crisis. The PR crisis.
Waiting to
Yeah,
happen.
I get
It's
it.
already a
But,
nightmare.
I mean, we dealt with it for a while.
It's
We can
already
do it
happened.
And then
we
it's
can do
over.
it. We can do it for another season. I just feel like this season is a make or break for the team. Obviously, another good thing was the striker upgrade with getting Gyökeres, so that's a plus. Madueke as a good substitute for Saka because we overplayed that guy last year, so that's also a good plus. I think in terms of depth, slightly improvement too. At least apart from that left wing, and probably 10. I know Ethan is there to put, understudy your other guy. But as far as like someone who's ready to play consistently on a high level without a drop, I think most of the positions we have people that are serviceable, should in case there's any major injury. So that's why I give it like a strong B plus. Um, some of the things that I'm worried about are just the potential missing links. That left, I still think he's not as potent. Um, I don't know what's going wrong with Martinelli. I'm hoping either we sell him and get someone a major upgrade, or just get someone who's also suitable. I still think we need another person in that 10, someone who can give Odegaard like a really strong run for his money, where he feels like if there's a drop in form, they can take that position from him, and we wouldn't necessarily miss him. It's going to be difficult to get a player of that nature, but it's possible. I think Eze can play 10 too, even though he can play on the wings. And those are really, really my main thing. And then just that attack overall. I know Havertz is there as a backup, but I'll really just give it like a B plus.
Okay, Stephen, before you go, I'm going to just take these comments. Michael Small said we need another world-class attacker. And Ayo says, shout out to the Gooners in the house. I rate the window an A minus. Why won't he? I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's being honest. Ayo's always honest when he talks to us. All right, Stephen, go.
Yeah, no, I think I'm in that B plus place just because of the quality. I think Zubimendi and Gyökeres are bigger improvements that people are going to realize over the course of the season. I think we all rate Partey for what he was doing for us at the time, but to get someone of Zubimendi's ability on the ball, I think even in the friendly against Spurs, right, like that goal, I don't think that goal gets conceded if Zubimendi's next to Miles, because you have two options to give the ball to when people are pressing us. Declan Rice can't do that, right? So having them to as press resistant receivers of the ball deep, I think is going to make a big difference to how we play and allow Rice to play higher. So I think the style of play will evolve. And I think the other thing for us as fans to kind of take into account, yeah, we've added a lot of players and half of them haven't played yet. Like Gyökeres has played 10 minutes. Madueke has played no minutes. Zubimendi's played 2 halves of football. Like none of the new signings have actually been embedded into the team. And I actually think the style is going to change because I actually think that now Arteta has different ways to actually change the game. So I'm actually looking at Arteta more so than looking at signings, because, for example, if you play with Gyökeres and you want to get him service and you got Madueke who can beat a man 1v1, then why would you play Martinelli on the left wing? Like you could bring on Madueke, let him run the line and cross the ball versus just having him as a like for like with Saka. You also can play 2 up front if you want, because you can take Odegaard out and you can tell Havertz to play as the second striker and have 2 strikers up front, because Havertz can play as a 10 and he can press. So I think they've given Arteta enough options to be able to change our style of play, regardless of if we sign another attacker. I would like us to sign another attacker just for the quality. But I think that's more what they were looking at, or what Berta has been trying to do for Arteta, is like, look, you have options everywhere to be able to change the style and the shape of the team, and you've got the depth. If I can get you one more attacker to kind of like upgrade the attack, great. But I think they've given him enough to be able to change the way we play, which is the biggest thing for me that kind of gives it a B plus.
Okay. And Toby, and while you talk, tell me who you would think, like if Steven's saying it would be nice if we got a different attacker, who is the attacker that would be nice to get? But go ahead, tell me your ratings first.
I think I would agree. I think it's an A minus, and that's because the signings we brought in have all been very, very good. I think people are underestimating how good Zubimendi is, but like Real Madrid would love to have had him. Liverpool would love to have him. Pep would probably love to have him, and he hasn't played any minutes with his starting first 11. I think when you look at the preseason games, none of those games have been set up to win the game. All those three games have been set up for fitness and set up to either give players a certain amount of minutes and change them after a certain period of time. But you don't tell me you're chasing a 1-0 game with Spurs and you wait till the 88th minute to bring in Gyökeres and you wait till the 70th minute to bring in Zubimendi and then you start with Norgard and like you know what those were. Those were minutes in the legs to exhaust people to get them exhausted to build up their fitness. I watched the game, I was morning here, Kai could barely run. And it says I kept him running for another 8, 10 minutes before he finally and I was watching, I'm like, this guy can't even move. Like, and you could tell this wasn't about chasing the game. And then I just have to say, that Spurs was never a goal in the EPL because of the clear trip. So
Mm,
as much as you want to blame Miles, he actually did nothing wrong. He bit his man and got clipped from behind, clear as
mm,
day. And in any game, Peter comes back to the camera and says, "That's it." So actually, in the core of the moment, I blamed Raya for pass selection. When I looked at the replay, Miles shaped his body well. He angled his body. Raya put the ball exactly on his left foot, so he turned inside. Beautiful pass. He beat the first press and got clipped by Richarlison. That's the reason why I went down. So for me, I get the anger of yes, can we? It is an A plus because we have an attacker. And like was discussed, we have Madueke can play on the right, he can play on the left. I didn't like that signing initially. And I was one of those that had to be convinced, okay, stop looking at the Chelsea angle, just calm down and look at the merits of the player. It probably took 2 weeks of a lot of people trying to convince me. And I finally resigned to the fact that, oh, I see why. I still don't like it because it's giving money to Chelsea, right? But other than that, if I take away the player from Chelsea, I think you know, we do have options now, and it's on Arteta to change our face of attack. We
mm,
don't always have to play with Rice. We don't always have to play with Zubimendi. We don't always have to play with Odegaard. We can play with both Kai and Gyökeres. We can play with both Saka and Madueke. We can play with both Ethan and Odegaard. We can play with two tens. So now he has options depending on your position. And we as fans need to be patient to see what does Wednesday look like, right? When he actually sets up a team to win a game at some point in preseason, how we approach the game. And Madueke hasn't played. Zumendi hasn't started a game with. I don't think he started with Odegaard. Maybe he was. I don't think he started a game with with the right people around. What anyone would consider the starting lineup for Manchester United, right? So it's been patchy. It's been a bit of the same horseshoe against Tottenham, boring, passing the ball around the edge of the arc, not being able to change it. But every player brought in to change it wasn't there. Gyökeres wasn't there to run the channels.
mm,
Um, I will agree that Martinelli looks, if anybody has had a poor season, poor preseason so far, it's probably him and to some extent Saka, but Saka is Starboy, so everybody wants to forget that Saka is untouchable. But Martinelli hasn't lived up to his hype. But Martinelli's best season was when he had Jesus, you know, running around him on the left. So let's see what Gyökeres does. Respect to the signings, I think the obvious one is Eze because that's the player Arsenal is looking at. I mean, I think Lookman could have been a good option. I still think Rodrigo is a good option. If I was going to upgrade any player, I will keep Martinelli and I'll move Trossard on. I think we need Martinelli's. We need him on certain games when we stretch defense. We need him in games against the big teams when they come to play. Um, and so if you're going to get an Eze that's an inside forward, there's no way you lose Martinelli because he's the only one that can stretch play and can run. Then you'd be left with him and Madueke, and that's it. So I think, if anything, I would agree. The last option is an upgrade, and I see that as Trossard because of age and ability to unlock defenses and play multiple positions with maybe Eze, or maybe Trossard goes and we can find the money with some outgoings. Maybe we sell a Kiwi or we finally sell Zinchenko, then maybe you can go get a player like Rodrigo. But but that's for the club to decide. But I think A minus is fine.
Fair.
It's the final
Okay.
cherry on the cake. We need one more player and we're good.
Okay. Ovi, wrap this up for us.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with most of the guys. I'll go with B plus. Um, I actually like the aggression we showed in the transfer market. I just feel like for us to be able to maximize the transfer market, we need to make some sales, and that hasn't happened yet. So that is, I mean, you might say, oh, we're always looking forward to the new addition, but the sales you make can also help finish up your transfer market. So I think that's essential. So that's why I'm still going with the B plus. And then when hopefully I'm hoping that by the end of the transfer market, I'm going to be.
He went off. Can anyone else hear?
No.
Okay.
No.
Ovi, we can't hear you. I don't think you can hear us either.
Yeah, it might be his connection, maybe.
Okay.
Can you hear me, guys?
Hear you
we
now.
can hear you now.
We cut off after you said
We can hear you now.
you cut off after you said after the end of this transfer market you hope that you can go to an A.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what we heard.
Hope it can go to an A or an A plus at that point.
Okay.
But I feel like if I mean we need to at least add one more player, and we have a habit of leaving the transfer market with one player short. So we don't want to do that again. I think we need to sell some players and then add the final player. What I say in terms of what I think for the season is so in terms of transfer market, we look at Liverpool and say, are they able to do what they're doing, right? They sell players, they generate income, and they can do that. I think for us, we lost a couple of players free. Party, Togio, TNE, or left for free. Clear some space in the wage bill, but not bringing actual money, right? So that's something to factor in. It just sometimes it's just timing. Last season we sold well. We sold Nketiah, we sold Emis Mitro, we sold Ramsdale, good money. So you won't be able to do that every season. Some seasons just align that the players you want to sell have value. So for us this season we don't really have players like that. They might get a few double-digit millions in terms of the guys we want to sell, but I don't see us getting too much. So I just think like most people have pointed out, we've not really seen the effect of the additions. It's too early. They've barely come in. Some have just barely played a few minutes with the team in the friendly games. So we will the first few weeks of the season, I feel like they will still be betting in some of those players. And then I don't expect them to just come and everybody just knows what they're supposed to do. But it's okay. See, that's why it's a season. It's not done. It's not won in August or September. We just be consistent and build them up, have clear plans. And Ateta as a person, people have always said, oh, we need a Saka backup. I never thought so because I just feel like Ateta needs to play other people instead of Saka. They just to play them. Just, we have players and we can do it. So the obvious lack in the squad is on the left hand side. People want an out winger. Some people want a 10-stroke wide player. I think Eze makes a lot of sense because the way I see it is I'm looking at points of failure, right? If Odegaard gets injured, who are we going to? Are we going straight to one area? I know we have Havertz now because with Zubimendi, you don't need to have Odegaard like that because Zubimendi can set the tempo, right? But it's just stuff like that that you have to worry about. And that's why I think the coach likes versatile players because you don't want to just go straight from Odegaard to one area in the big game, for example. You might want to have other people that you can fill in, either Havertz or AZ or something like that. So, in all, I think we're on the right path, but we just need to finish the job.
Okay. I think the consensus I heard is that we need Eberici Eze and also potentially sell Trossard, keep Martinelli, and we would have completed a successful transfer window.
Yeah, I also think he needs to try some things on that left side because for me, in preseason, I would have liked to have seen, for example, Ethan have some minutes on the left. Like he's left-footed, and we don't need this inverted everything in every position. He's just a good football player. So try him on the left, give him some minutes over there to see if he can actually go past people, come inside and join up with Odegaard, give us that second 10. Because I think that's what they're going to probably do with Eze. Like if Eze comes, I have a funny feeling they're going to play him off the left and let him come inside, which is going to create space for other people to move and make runs. So I just don't know in preseason, you don't even see if like an Ethan can play on that side on his natural left foot, what he does. Like he's never played him. Not even last season as a sub or when we had all of the injuries. He's never tried 1 year. So I just think there's other things for Arteta to do with the players that he has at his disposal, just so that during the season we can see, like he had it 2 years ago when he had to use Nelson, for example. Like that was absolute emergency. I have no choice. I'm going to throw him on. But he was there the whole season and we knew he could beat a man and he can get crosses into the box. He's not the greatest player, but he's serviceable and he's there.
Yes.
So there's a part of me that wants to see what he does with the squad, even with all of the Eze talk. Because Eze coming is like, it's competition for Odegaard. It's someone that can play off the left, but he's also 27. So they basically say, look, we're in win now. We're going to write off the fact that we're not going to get money for him when we sell, but it's an upgrade on the players that we have. But I just think we have other players there that he hasn't tried.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good discussion. Very, very good. That will take us into our last and final topic, expectations for Arsenal for next season. Okay, so we do everything. We've done all this. What happens next? What do you guys want to happen? Ovi, we'll start with you, going backwards.
I mean, for me, I honestly think we just have to win the league. It's Champions League is a knockout competition. You can't really say, oh, you have to win the Champions League. I hope we win it someday, but the league is the bread and butter, right? The last time we came second 3 times in a row, we won 2 of the next 3 league titles, right? So hopefully that's a good omen for you. Just can't keep coming second, right? It gets old. Wow. So I think you just have to win the league. I mean, a cup would be nice, but you just have to win the league. That's what I think. And the last season, I know a lot of people said lessons learned, missed opportunities. It just gave me the Peter Cech season all over again, where we got Peter Cech and we didn't get anybody else. So we didn't finish last season. Unfortunately for us, Liverpool are now strengthening very well, which will make this very difficult. But that's what you have to deal with, and you have to learn for next time. Whenever you have an opportunity, you have to take it. So I don't care who Liverpool buys. We have to win the league. It's that simple. And that's the way I see it. Champions League will be a bonus, of course. Any other cup will be a bonus. But for me, you just have to win the league first. And that's
I'm going to ask you guys as you go along, each of you, do you think we can win the league? Based on what you see?
I honestly believe so.
Okay.
I expect, like I said, I expect 1 more addition. I expect a couple of sales. I honestly believe we are the most balanced squad right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to jump around. Stephen, I'll go with you next.
No, I agree. I think of course we can win the league. Like we're right there, right? But it's just a case of there's 3 or 4 teams that could probably think that at the start of the season. So I think the league is getting more competitive, right? So I think it's to say that the minimum is winning the league is like, okay, like I don't think that's a realistic thing with the way the league is. I think competing for the league and staying there, you want to be there to the end of the season. Like you can't be done in February and March and you're nowhere near it. I don't think that's acceptable. Yes. So for me, I'm looking for, we can't be drawing 14 games. We got to be right there to the end and we got to win a trophy of some kind. I don't care what it is. With the squad he has now, I don't think he has an excuse to be giving up on cup competitions and doing too much craziness rotation depending on who we're playing against. So it's a case of compete for everything and you got to take something off the board. Ideally, you want to win the league. That's the ultimate goal of the season. But it's like you're going for everything now. You have the squad to be in everything. And again, we got to 2 semi-finals and finished second when we had most of the players missing last season. Right. So to say that, can we win the league? I mean, of course we can win the league.
Good. Okay. Harry.
We either win the Champions League or the league, or we win 2 funny cups. That's what we need to do. No if, buts, when, what. That's what has to happen. We either win the Premier League. If we don't win the Premier League, we win the Champions League. I don't know how they want to do it, but they have to figure it out. If we don't accomplish any one of those two, then we win two of the other baby cups, FA Cup and something else. That's what has to happen. That's otherwise complete waste, right? And as everyone has said so far, we have the team now to compete on all fronts. There's no like we're seeing funny players that we don't know their names in all this. No, compete on all levels so that at the end of the league we're not looking like idiots again. We have no choice. This season is a make or break season for Arteta. Let me even say it now: if he doesn't win anything this league, yeah, we're done. That project, Arteta projects. Let's just move on.
Arteta out for you if he does not win.
Let me start saying it ahead of time so people will not say I'm brand new. If this season we don't win at least the Premier League or the Champions League or two baby cups, maybe one FA Cup, one Carling, I don't know, whatever it is we call it nowadays, then yeah, it's not gonna be a fruitful season. I just hope and pray that he's not as stubborn and as rigid as he has been in previous season, because now he has players to switch things around, right? And my hope is that we become less predictable. Okay. And he has players now. So, yeah.
Okay, let me take this comment before you go, Toby. I said I think this year is a straight fight between Liverpool and Arsenal. Whichever team's new arrivals adjust quicker wins the league. So you don't think Chelsea's involved? I mean, I don't know. Chelsea surprised me in that.
Chelsea are us 3 years ago.
Chelsea are us 3 years ago. Okay, so they're 3 years behind. Thank you.
Players are young. They're coming. Like Chelsea in a year and a half, they keep that group together.
It's a problem.
Like they're a problem. Like Haito and Palmer, like these are good players. And once they get experience, Chelsea or Arsenal 2 years ago. Okay. So I think they're going to be a problem. Probably, I'm hoping until about February they're in it and then they fall away because of inexperience. But I think Chelsea are going to be a tough team to play against this year.
Okay. All right, Toby.
And that's just also because they know how to win. They have that whole pedigree of winning, so it wouldn't be difficult for them.
Sure.
Well, I think first of all, I disagree with some things Henry said. To win the league, you need a mixture of luck and quality, and there's no team that has won the league with their best players out for any considerable amount of time. Wenger doesn't go invincible if Henry pulls his hamstring in January. Wenger doesn't go invincible if Pires pulls his hamstring in March. Like Wenger doesn't go invincible if Kolo Toure gets injured in December. Liverpool don't win last season if Mo Salah is out for 3 months. Like it's not like every great team that has done great things, their key players have great seasons. If you look at City when they win, everyone's talking about De Bruyne's season, or Foden had so many assists and so many goals, or it was Aguero, or it was Alan. Those key players of your team that make you win stuff have to deliver anytime any team wins. Look at PSG going to the Champions League, right? Everyone's talking about what a season Dembele had, right? What a season some of their players had. So for me, the manager is one part of it. The club backing the manager is another part of it. And I would say the club has done better than they did last season. I would qualify it as this. Yes, we have to win yes, we can win the league. Because as everyone has pointed out, we've come second 3 times in a row. We've come second with half our team injured, from a defense to a star player to a striker, and had no strikers and played a left 8 Merino up front and still came second, right? So we know what the flaw is, right? We know what this team's flaw is with only having one fit right back. We know what it is. The question remains, can we have a season where we're lucky with injuries as much as we want we don't see the quality, we're not down the quality, but there is some luck involved here. Like we all saw what happened when Trossard pulled up short at the last game. God forbid, if something happens the first half of the season and a key player goes down, like whatever you want to say about this team must win the league, it ain't gonna happen, guys. Not as competitive as the Champions League is. Like,
Yeah.
yes, there's Liverpool that can win it for sure. They just won it, and they're better. They're gonna be better this year than they were last year because they know their single point of failure and they're addressing it. Still have to address their defense, right? They still have to address their midfield, but up front they're fine, even if they don't get Salah, right? Sorry, if they don't get Isak, right? City is going to be better just because it's Pep. There's not going to be a lot of, and they're going to have Rodri, right? Chelsea is obviously better, right? Um, United will be better. They won't be 15th. They may be 14th. Oh, sorry, they may be 13th, right? So United will be better. Newcastle hopefully will be m- already strengthened, right? They have Elang. Is it Newcastle that got Elanga and another player? Um,
Mhm.
or was that Spurs? Yeah, yeah. So Spurs is already better. We just played Spurs. They finally have a manager who knows how to organize a team, and you can see how defensively sound they were. Because guess what? They worked on set pieces. So it's a brand new league. Arsenal, we hope we finally win it. But I don't like this thing of saying, hey, if we don't win it, then the manager has to go. If we don't win it because we're injured and stuff happens, then yes, and it's inflexible, yes. But if you don't win it because something else bad happens, guys, it's okay, all right? I mean, like every team comes in saying they have to win the league, even in NFL, NBA, whatever sport it is, they stack up, they give everything, and it doesn't always work out. Yes, for us, it's painful because it's been 3 years. Henry, this is where
Right.
I would agree with you. I think now we finally have a team that we can't write off the FA Cup. We can't write up the Carling Cup and just say, let's
Yeah.
just focus on that. We now have a B team that we should be able to rest Saliba. We should be able to go play Carling Cup game with Mosquera, with Kirio, right? With Kepa, right? With Norgard, right? Um Daman, right? On if he doesn't have school the next day, we should be able to show up for those early cup, Carling Cup games because now we have more resiliency, right?
Mhm.
I think that's a point we can all agree on. It's like we can't throw away those cups anymore because it's been too long. But yes, the focus still has to be on the league. But why focus on the league? You now have resiliency where the fall off shouldn't be as great. Manage minutes better and put out a competitive team. And hopefully, all those cups are also cups, right? Depends on who you face, right? We went out to Newcastle, right, in the FA Cup, right? So as long as you're not playing a Premier League team, put out a team and win it, and keep your Saka and your Maduekes and Kai on the bench if you need something. And so I'm confident that we would be there because I know our flaw. Whether we get it, guys, I would love for us to get it. Don't get me wrong. If we don't get it, it'll be very disappointing. I just don't know if I would be like, if we don't get it because of the manager, then yes. But
Okay.
I don't think
I
that's
think
the case.
that's what I'm hearing
I
from
think if we
you.
don't get it, it won't be because of Arteta.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Can I
You're
give?
predicting that
it won't be
if we
because
do
of the
not get to
manager.
number two, number one, it would not be because of Arteta. But if it is, you're okay with him getting the sack this season. Is that what you're saying?
Depends on the conditions. Let me hedge. I was out before all of you here. Remember 6, 7 years ago. So let me hold my mantle and say I was the OG of Ateta out. So I can switch if I know the manager is not moving in the right direction. But nothing I've seen tells me he's not moving in the right direction. He was right about Raya Ramsdale. No one is arguing him now. He was right about moving Ben White to right back. No one is arguing him now. Right. So if he's right on Madueke, put it this way, if these big signings flop, then I'll have a big problem with him, and
Okay.
that's Madueke, Zubimendi, and Gyökeres.
Okay.
If those three don't work out, then we've wasted a lot of money.
yeah, I'm less in the camp
So
about the players that he signed. It's
Okay.
more about his approach to the season and how we play. Because I think again, the options have always been there. I give him a pass for last season with the injuries, 100%. The season before, I don't give you the pass because so I think that's where the pressure is coming, right? The pressure is coming because the 2 seasons before, where you didn't have the injuries, where you didn't have, yes, you didn't have the squad and there was tiredness, there were mistakes that were made down the stretch that you should have learned from now. If you have a injury-free season, like you say, if you have all of the players to be able to rotate, as a manager, you should be able to put us in a position to compete better for the trophies that are on offer. And if he does that, no problem. If we come up short, to your point, 100% no problem. But it's just that rigidity of how he approaches some of these games and the decision making. Sometimes you have to question. It's like it took us till preseason this year to see
but 2 seasons
California.
ago, we
I repeat that it took us to preseason to see what?
It took us to preseason this summer preseason for us to see Calafiori at left back when we're in possession in a lot of games. We know he's a chaos baller that can do different things on the ball. But yes, Gabriel's great, but play Calafiori if you have him and you know what he brings to the team. That's what I'm saying. There's no experimentation or shifting of approach with the manager sometimes. That's the challenge.
That was going to be my thanks, Stephen.
Can I make a point?
You're trying to rebuttal?
Oh, go ahead, Harry. Then I'll go after you. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to thank Stephen.
Let Harry go ahead.
I was going to state a rebuttal, but he literally said everything I was going to say. For example, there were 3 seasons. Like if you look for 3 seasons from now, we've had those seasons where it's injuries that has, affected us, right? I've always wanted us to troubleshoot. Why do we, what have we done different to avoid this from happening? And it's always our key players. There was a time it was Partey, he went down, season was over, right? The following season, it was, I can't remember who the player was, and then I think it was, Saliba. And then the next season,
it was Saliba. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying too. So
it was Saka,
the team did improve because when Saliba went out, the backup was holding.
Yeah,
like, let's be real. Like he didn't have the squad.
So yes, yeah, but to your point, that's my rebuttal because you said 2
so he
seasons
gets
ago,
the pass for that.
Saliba went down and it was holding.
Yeah, no. But last season,
but that was 2 seasons ago.
Him the pass. The season before, I'm not giving him the pass.
Okay, I think you can give him a quarter pass for 2023.
Yeah, but the season before. But, no. Hold on. It's about resiliency, guys.
I think we're missing a bigger point.
But hold on. Let me do.
I can't hear you, Toby.
Go ahead, Henry.
No, the bigger point for me.
Okay, sorry. So my point is.
Oh, never mind. Continue.
Toby.
Okay, so hold on. 2 seasons ago, Saliba went down in the run. I think it was February or March. We had holding. What happened to our results after Saliba went down? That's how we dropped those 10 points. Liverpool, that same season, we're playing kids, and guess what happened to them? They dropped from 1st to 3rd, right? We couldn't catch up, right? So when people say injuries don't matter, they do, right? So the point is single points of failure have been addressed. Right now, there is resiliency. There's Mosquera, there's Saliba, there's Calafiori. Hopefully, he's fit. There's Ben White. You can move across. Last week we started the season. What happened day 1? Timber goes down, and Ben White has to play the entire season. 3 seasons ago, where nobody expected Arsenal to challenge, that was the Jesus Zinchenko season that nobody knew we're even going to challenge. I don't think we're in Europe. We overachieved that season. And we ran out of gas. And yes, I would say, but nobody was even saying Arsenal should even be. They were like, where did Arsenal come from? Right? It was a shock to all of us. We're like, how do we go from struggling for 5th to?
I'm not saying it was a failure for him not to win. I'm saying the learnings from those seasons should all be leading him to be in a better position to compete with the squad that he now has.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Exactly. Okay. And I agree with that. Because now you can see what they built. They've built, for the first time, you can name 2 players in every key position in the back 4.
Exactly.
In fact, other than left back, where we have 3. We actually have 3 because of Zinchenko, right? And I might think we may need to keep 3 if Fury keeps tweaking his knee, right? So we may just have to keep 3 there, right? Because we don't want to go and all of a sudden we're down to 1 player and we run him to the ground, right? So I agree with everyone here that we built. And now, for me, he has to invest in the attacking. If there's any criticism I have of the manager, is, dude, sometimes let go of your defensive football. It's okay. They're in a low block. Just need to be Mendy back there with Gabriel and put on all your attackers because now you have them. So we'll see it. We'll actually see it.
But this is where I'm saying, right? Like, for me, that wouldn't be the right choice. Like, he can play 2 10s with Rice. He plays 2 10s with Zubimendi. They're gonna get overrun. Zubimendi doesn't have the legs to hold up as a 6 by himself, right? So this is what I mean. Like he's
But
got to
he's a
learn.
different 6. He's not a running 6.
I know, but
Yeah.
on the counter, you do not want Zubimendi back there with 2 10s. But you can put Rice as the 6 and have 2
I don't
10s.
disagree. I don't disagree.
So, but this is the manager. Like he has the parts and the pieces, but he has to figure out how to get the most out of the school. Like we've never seen Nwaneri as a 10 next to Odegaard.
No.
Like this is the stuff I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like we're playing
That's
against.
fair.
Those are the
Yeah, no,
things
I
I
agree.
would want to now.
That's what I meant.
Roby, I'm going to let you say
Yeah.
one of our final words because I haven't heard you speak in the last 5
Yes,
minutes.
I was trying to let everybody get whatever they're trying to say, but I want to wrap. My own context is whenever I hear, "Oh, we need to take the cup seriously," I'm always, I feel some kind of way because I'm like, when have we not taken it seriously? You reached the semi-finals last season, right? It's not like as if we rested players to Newcastle. They beat us fair and square. That's it. We lost to Man
But we
U.
did rest players to them.
No, we didn't rest players, right? So we didn't
Yeah.
rest players. We just lost. That's why the cup competition, you can lose. Even with whatever you want to put forward, you can lose at any time. That's one, right? So, and we lost to Man U because we just couldn't score for some reason. And then won on some penalties. So it's not like we rested players for this tournament. We just did not win, which happens sometimes. But that's why it's a cup. There's no guarantee that you're going to win
I'll
the
say
cup.
last season, yes. Not 2
Yeah,
seasons
last
ago.
season.
Yeah, but not 2
Yeah.
seasons ago.
So
There are
back-
clear examples of Arteta not
Yeah.
taking the cup seriously and
back
going out to the Carling Cup very early.
back to So back to
Yeah.
why we've come.
Oh, Ovi, we lost you.
Sorry? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
We lost you for a second.
Okay. So back to
Yes.
the seconds now. 3 seasons ago, the Jesus season, right? We lost Saliba 3 seasons ago. But people always say we lost Saliba and went to Holding. That's not true. We lost Saliba and Tobiyasu in the same match in Europa League, trying to win the Europa League.
Yeah.
We lost both of them in the same match. So it's not like as if we just lost Saliba and went to Holding. We lost Saliba and we lost his backup in the same game. That's what happened. So it crumbled from there, right? Fine. The next season, we were doing well. We were leading at points. We had Aston Villa sandwich in between Bayern Munich. And we lost the Aston Villa game due to not being able to cope with Bayern Munich and Aston Villa. It's not really about anything we could have done. We're just not ready, right? Last season, we didn't prepare enough, and injuries killed us. So that's the out of it because injuries were too bad. But even before the season, we're not even prepared. So all we have been doing is improving the team, right, and hope for the best.
Okay.
So I cannot say, oh, if it doesn't win, it don't go. But my own is, you can't come second 4 times. It doesn't make any sense because
Would you prepare?
it seems
So
like
you should come fourth.
you have to come first. You cannot come second.
Okay. Does everyone realize that? Does everyone realize in the Liverpool club era, where City was winning the league multiple times, Liverpool was finishing second, third, fifth, fourth. Nobody was saying anything about second, because they never actually did second. But they also didn't win it for 3-4 years or 5 years actually.
That's my
But
point.
their circumstances were different,
second 2 times now.
No.
If you want, if we were wiser, we should have come second, third.
Liverpool finishing second with 90
Or
points.
fourth, third, second, right? If you did fourth, third, second, they'll say there's
Liverpool are coming second with 90 points.
That's why it's better. You can't keep coming second. It makes no sense. So you have to come first.
Yeah, but you could come second with 90 points next season.
It does. I mean, we can.
Then it's okay. Someone's better than you.
I'm just saying, it's very hard.
We came second with 80. But we came second with how many points? 89? Or was it 88?
You can't just keep coming second.
87. 89.
Yeah.
Right, let me take a few of these comments.
We came second with 89.
Aya wants us to predict Manchester United, Arsenal. But before we do, OK said Arsenal is finishing below United this season. Bookmark this. We will. That's a hot take. We'll bookmark that. Thank you very much.
I'll put a $200 bet on that. Tell Chuku I have $200 for him if he wants to bet. on that.
He said all he hears is
You just
excuses.
text me on at Facebook. We'll
United
make it
fans
run.
they don't believe in excuses. They believe that anything that happens happens. They don't put context in things. I'm one person that likes to put context into like situations. So last year I saw 5 of our players get surgery. Was it 5 or 3?
No,
3 to
they
5.
do. I was on their. I listened to their podcast last week.
Oh, they do, right?
Last
Yeah.
year, no,
So
on
5
their
of our players
podcast, they had a lot of context. No, they did when they're together.
Where's their team? But yeah, so I mean, I know what happened last season. The year before, 17-1-1. I look at that second half of the season, I see 17-1-1, and I don't know how a team could have had a better second half. Obviously, our first half was not that bad, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't 17-1-1. And if you do 17-1-1 and City does 18-1, 18-1-0, whatever they did, because they tied with us and they won the rest of their games, and Tottenham did not score that goal. What's his name? Son was through on goal and didn't score and refused to score. Anyway, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying that things happen. I don't know if I'm Arteta out. I think I have to see what happens. I think I'm just going to like see what happens this season. You guys are saying one thing that's encouraged me from this podcast is that you weren't like, you're not turned off by the preseason games. I saw when I didn't watch the preseason games, so I saw some highlights and I was like, I don't know what's going on. It's just going to be like, I didn't think I liked what I saw, but you know, I'm excited to see what the new season brings and see what Arteta does with the players. And unless someone has anything else to say, this is all the time we have for. It's right on time. Okay, this is all all the time we have, guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys in the back for watching us and commenting, and hope to see you guys next week. Take care.
You're watching Footy Fantasy. It is sure say the thing will reach your football needs. Banter from rivalries, he sure you go receive. From EPL to Champions League, your eyes go see. It's Footy Fantasy. You're watching Footy Fantasy. Footy Fantasy. It is sure say